.746 a.m. Quad Cities, News Talk 1420 WOC with Dan and Dan. Good morning. So yesterday we were talking about the resolution at the Rock Island County Board that the committee that we were talking about pushed through. This was going to be the resolution to lower the size, to change the size of the board from 25 down to 15. We're also going to look at changing compensation, or actually pension
and health care for some of the members were taking.
That was the Governmental Affairs Committee that approved that. On that committee, and joining us here in the studio this morning, Drue Mielke. Drew, how are you?
Doing good. Good morning. Thank you for having me in.
Sure. So yesterday I was saying, hey, this is great. The Governmental Affairs Committee passed this. It was narrow. It was 4-3, right?
It was a contentious debate. There was a lot of good debate, but it passed. And then this afternoon, or yesterday afternoon, I find out that it's going to be pulled from our full board agenda on the 16th of February, Tuesday. And I don't see that the chairman has the power to do that. The irony I see is that their legal review issues were cited. Well, now that brings into question, I have a question of the legality that they can pull that. Now, certainly it could be tabled in the full board, or anything could happen in the full board. But after a committee votes and we voted to put it to the full board, that kind of nullified that. It was like a veto.
Yeah, why have your committee?
It took away their power, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think that's right. And so I'm going to question that. I don't think that should stand.
Is there a precedent for that you're aware of?
I was told by another county board member this morning. He says, "Well, this has happened before." I go, "Well, it shouldn't happen. I mean, it's not in Robert's rules. It's not in our policy manual that at any given moment a capricious, and maybe it's not capricious, but anyone can just, as chairman, can pull something like that. If a committee, why do we have committees?"
Right. So, yeah, now it could have gone to the committee, and then, like you said, the committee, they could have said, no, we need more information.
It could have gone to the full board, and we could have had full discussion,
Yeah.
and it could have been tabled. We could have heard what the reasons that were given could have been given then, and we could have voted to table it. But the interesting thing is this is a resolution. If this would pass, these items would still go back to committee,
right?
And we would draft how are we going to change the number of committees.
Right.
We're going to downsize the committees. We could draft how is IMRF going to be removed. This would all be under legal scrutiny. And if we didn't do anything, if we rated for, we're not afraid of our shadow. We act under what we believe is legal. And if it's not, if there's some nuance or something that needs to be changed, it's changed. But legislative bodies don't work that way. At least they shouldn't work that way. I think somewhere, someone is creating a stalling tactic for whatever reason. Maybe they're gonna flip votes at the end. I don't know. I mean, I'm still kind of miffed about the tax increase. How they, we voted one way and then we didn't like that. But let's vote again. I don't like that.
So to clarify, yesterday, or the Governmental Affairs Committee passed a resolution. The resolution said, here's what we want to do. That was going to go to the full board. If it passed the full board, then it would have to go back to committee. And would it be the same committee, or would it be a different committee?
I think all these items would probably go back to governmental affairs because they're kind of all county board related.
But it's at that point then you would start scrutinizing, saying, how do we do this? But the resolution is not even going to get a vote now at the county board, at least right now.
Not now. And the downsizing is a good example. That was stalled in our committee last year. I wrote a resolution to downsize the board, and it was actually going out of committee, and the chairman of the county board created a tie and stalled it, and it died in committee because of that. So I'm a little frustrated, and I think the public is getting frustrated. I'm getting kind of, tired of this. We've been talking about downsizing since 2010.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we had, and the
the public spoke.
Yeah, they took it, and the county board and that county board in 2010 refused to put it on the ballot. So the public took it in their own hands. I mean, just stacks and stacks and stacks of petitions were to put it on the ballot against the county board's will. But the people spoke, and then they did speak. The 72% said they wanted a smaller board. Well, now this resolution says in 2022, after the census, that we are recommending a smaller board. We don't have any power over that board, though.
Right.
So, I don't know. There's a lot of discussion that can happen between, even though this resolution is passed, because there is very good issues regarding rural representation. There's very sound issues to be said about minority representation. These are things that I want to listen to and know about. No one's negating those issues.
Right.
But this resolution is just saying we want a board of 15 in 2022. That's all it's saying.
And then I find it funny, like you said. So they said, no, we're going to stop. We're going to stop this for a legal review. We want John McGahee actually to take a look at it. But this is a resolution. I mean, there would be plenty of time for this to be hashed out. There's no even real plan
There's
yet.
severability in here, and it says if there's anything illegal in here or anything, it stands separately. So there's all these provisions that allow for any legal questions to be dealt with in this at all. There's nothing in this statute that precludes it going to the full board. Nothing at all.
And it just sounds to me like somebody doesn't want to be on record.
It could be. I don't know why unless they're serving two masters. I mean, unless you're telling the public one thing and yet you're doing another. I mean,
Right.
I'm not. I'm doing what I was put there to do, which is real reform on the board. I want to commend the chairman of this committee, Scott Terry, who's a Democrat, for enacting real reform, putting it on the governmental affairs. I want to commend Kai Swanson, who did the focus group, who did the strategic planning that created the focus group. And the focus group was the people that came and said, we want to downsize the people.
Yeah.
We want to downsize the board.
Right.
We want smaller committees. And so we're going to be talking about that at 6 o'clock. We're going to be reviewing the focus group, county office building, at 6 o'clock today, and we're going to be discussing the points of the focus group. There's a little irony there too, isn't there? But this is not dead by any means.
Yeah.
Is the chairman going to be there tonight to maybe
hope he is.
explain why he took this off the
I hope he
agenda?
is, and he did explain it, and he was told there's legal issues. But I don't know if anyone explained to the chairman, and I like the chairman, that it can go to the full board, and then we can talk about that too. I mean, we can have a discussion. I don't know what the legal issues are. Apparently, something happened between yesterday or Monday
Right.
and yesterday.
I think the biggest legal issue is, does the chairman even have the right to pull that off the agenda?
I don't think he does. And again, this is not a personal thing. I really like the chairman. I think maybe he should reconsider. I'd ask him to reconsider, and then we talk about what the legal issues are in the full board, and he can bring them up, and we're all elected officials. We could table it if there's something out there that we don't know about. You know, I'm not second guessing the chairman has been told there's legal issues,
Well,
but I don't know if it's appropriate.
I just don't understand that if that you would have a situation where you have a county board where there's no instrument in place to shrink it at some point in time, because that's basically what he's saying is, well, we're at 25 and we don't think legally we can make it smaller.
Well,
How can that happen?
The resolution talks about the decennial reapportionment.
Yeah.
And in the statute, it clearly says that the county board can pick any number it wants.
Right.
We can pick
So-
5.
Right.
Yeah, so what is...
Well, how many does Cook County have?
They might have 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think they have
but
5
I mean,
or
but
6,
but
right.
believe me, I'm sure they make $200,000 a year, whatever they make.
Right.
So-
And there's
still.
several levels of government in every
Yeah.
in every area you are in Cook County. So anyway, I want to remind everybody, if you want to check out that meeting tonight, it's at 6 o'clock at the county building.
county
right?
office building, right?
Okay. And I guess John McGahee has a press conference.
Yep,
At
that's
5
set
o'clock,
for
and we don't
5
know-
o'clock,
we don't
but
know
they
what
won't
for.
tell you what it's for.
But while you're
maybe-
down there, maybe you could say,
Or
hey,
maybe it's related to this.
could be, maybe.
Or maybe the jail
regardless,
or-
we can
or
still bring
courthouse.
this to the full board
Right.
and discuss whatever the issues are.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens. Good to see you again, Drew.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for
I was
stopping by.
I was so excited yesterday. Everything was going so well.
Don't
see?
don't give up the ship yet. We're not done yet.
He opened his mouth, and it was like a jinx.
I'm sorry. It's never gonna happen again.
Don't give us kudos anymore.
No more praise for the board. Never
Yeah.
again. It is 7:55. Dan and Dan at AM Quad Cities.